Kirby games are some of my favourite 2D platformers out there. Amazing levels, amazing music, and of course by the top of this list, amazing copy abilities. I'm counting down the 10 that I believe to be either the most useful or the most fun to use. So mixed, combined, or final abilities, but I will be taking into account super abilities, robot armor, and anything else like that. I'll never forget the last that was my first playthrough of Triple Deluxe. The abilities were an absolute joy to use, including the new ones, like Bell. Its attacks involve ring dings, useful up close due to its high fire rate, and its Ding Finale, which releases sound waves that actually has decent vertical range, as well as a useful dash move that can take out enemies from both sides, useful underwater capability, and can block attacks. This ability gets on here because it's a lot of fun to use, but it's only number 10 as there are many better abilities for combat. I'm going to be honest, I was disappointed by Kirby Star Allies. It's not a bad game, but it did fall flat in many areas. It did offer some fun, especially when you had the staff ability. It's amazing how powerful staff can be. This ability has all kinds of long range melee attack, making it one of the best for combat in the game, as well as being able to use it as a poker stick before... Like with any of the other weapon abilities, it can be combined with an element, giving you even more attack options. It's versatile, it's fun to use, and it's probably the best new addition to Kirby Star Allies. Out of all the abilities, if my memory is correct, Spark was the first ability I used, and it was a great first impression. Spark is one of the most dangerous abilities in the series. For starters, he can build up static charge, which means no enemy can directly hit him. But once it's charged, he can fire a powerful massive ball of electricity, which travels at a fast rate, can go through walls. By the way, it takes almost no time to charge, making it a bit overpowered. And if that's not enough for you, it even has a mode for the robot armor, cool to use for its rapid fire shots and its laser of death. Being overpowered really does feel awesome sometimes. It's no shock, but this ability is awesome. I'll get out now. Zelda reference is cool, but I didn't want to use this ability for that. This ability is really good at slashing down a lot of enemies really quickly. The short range for powerful slashes, and as well as various long range jabs, making it a very useful ability for mowing down enemies in mere seconds. And let's not forget that super ability that can let you use a fish to slash enemies. I love Kirby games. As well as let you destroy bosses' shields, and the robot armor with electrical swords that will totally wreck anything. This ability is about as iconic as Kirby, and it's easy to see why. Looks like I'm not quite done with the new abilities in Triple Deluxe. Archery's primary use is for fire arrows, ideal for long range attacks. These arrows can be charged to an insane power to the point where they can go right through enemies and take out mini bosses in seconds, literally. But what sets this ability from powerful to broken is the D-pad. Hold down and nothing is hitting you. You can even attack whilst you're hidden. It also has some surprisingly useful close range melee attacks as well. With everything this ability has, it made it my absolute first choice for the true arena. It may be a bit broken, but my mind would have to be even more broken not to love it. With Robobot taking on a more alien theme, it's no surprise that some of the copy abilities got the same kind of treatment. ESP is an interesting ability to say the least. It creates a bubble of some kind of energy that can be charged to make it even more powerful, that can be used to attack enemies out of reach, as well as the ability to transport himself out of sight, which not only makes Kirby immune to damage, but does damage to enemies in the process. This made it really useful for the true arena in Planet Robobot. It even has a robot armor mode where you can literally just plow down enemies and... wait. It made the true arena in Planet Robobot easier. Do I need to say more than that? Adventure Way is debatably the best game in the series, but what shocked me the most was how much fun I had with the Leaf ability. Nature can be dangerous, they say. I think this is even more so. This is a good ability for getting up close and personal, with the powerful leaf uppercuts and the leaf swirl capturing any enemies nearby. Want to take out multiple enemies at once below? Leaf Rain is the way to go, and if everything gets too messy, hide yourself in a bunch of leaves, which could also be used as a counter, making it probably the best ability for the true arena in Adventure Wii. Damn it, that's like the third ability I've praised for that now. It's fun, it has great power, and is my favourite of the new abilities in Adventure Wii. Poison was the most fun to use out of the new abilities in Robobot. It's appropriately one of the most dangerous abilities in the series. Borrowing some moves from water, but it's a lot more than just a different fluid. With its deadly trails and toxic smog, it sets up dangerous traps that only Freddy could dream of. Probably the most fun of the moves is the Poison Pummel, which gives off a series of powerful jabs, ending in a slam dunk that can take out nearby enemies as well. The makes getting touched by a poison frog sound nicer. And if you really want, serve them to death with a wave of poison. Kirby's brutal. Even enjoys it! Useful in both long-range traps and close-range combat. It's a really handy ability overall. So we're finally at the best of the new abilities in Triple Deluxe. Like I already said, I had a freaking blast with this game. And it introduced one of the most insane abilities yet. Beetle. One of the coolest concepts for a copy ability in the series, being based on a rhinoceros beetle, one of the strongest animals by scale, and with it comes one of the most combat efficient abilities in the series. That horn on his head will be any enemy's worst nightmare. It has a lot of familiar attacks, like the powerful slashes of sword and the heavy smash of stone, but it has some of its own attacks with the long range grabs. You can even use it to pick up an enemy and either toss it at another, or just slam it into the ground. Man, that is so satisfying. With its versatility and high damage output, it will tear about enemies and even bosses in seconds. I don't think there's much more I can say. It's such a fun ability to use. I hope this becomes a permanent ability in the lineup. Alright, honourable mention time. Spear, for its great power and range. Beam, really cool moveset. Parasol, fun to use attacks. Ice, useful at taking out multiple enemies at once. Cutter, great short and long range attacks. And finally Wing, another ability that's just fun to use. At the start of this list, I said I was judging the abilities based on how useful they were and how much fun the ability was to use. And there's an ability that's the best in both categories. Let's start with how useful it is from a combat stance. The Hammer Twirl and Swing are useful for dealing out a lot of damage quickly for grounded enemies, not to mention the fact that these give temporary invincibility while she uses them. And the Hammer Swings are good for air enemies, once again having great power and temporary invincibility, and as well as having decent main. And if you really want to dish out pain, this attack will be any boss's worst nightmare. There's so many satisfying powerful attacks, which is why I think this ability is the most fun to use out of them all. And let's not forget the super ability. It's probably my favourite of the bunch to use, due to how satisfying the attacks are to pull off. Honestly, there's so much to love about this ability. Strong melee attacks, massive versatility, and huge fun factor. It's the most fun a hammer has ever given me in a video game. Okay, second most fun I've ever had. And an ability I always take when I get the chance. This has been Salmon Splatter. Thank you for watching.